Hi, Sharam Namdarian here. Are you stressed or are you excited? Whoa! In this video, we're going to be talking about the dual state of emotions. And honestly, this is a concept that I think is so fundamental for emotional healing and learning about just how emotions work that I often thought it should be in a new series called The Fundamentals. Ooh, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I do have plans for series like that. I do have plans for more online courses. But right now, I'm just doing what I do, just pumping out these videos, one video at a time, whatever it might mean to whoever might need it in the universe. If you don't know who I am, if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Sharam Namdarian, deep emotional healer, life coach, dating coach. Basically, I live and breathe a concept of emotional healing, which I refer to as emotional surrender, or just surrender, which is a way of pretty much manifesting and creating the things in your life that we are often trying to move forward, but we are anchored deep in the past because some pain or some issue that's stopping us from moving forward. And this is a concept that I understood and learned through my own emotional healing journey when I was looking and through deep meditation and through deep understanding and through trying to heal myself, that emotions generally have like two states. They have a flowing state and a stuck state. For example, I said earlier on, are you stressed or are you excited? For example, we can be excited, but sometimes when we're up to a certain point, a level of excitement that our body can't handle, we end up calling it stress. And we sometimes call it negative. We call it negative stress because stress doesn't always have to be negative. Stress can be positive. And that's what we call positive stress. We might call it excitement. We might call it anticipation. We might even call it sexual arousal. So I want to start looking, just if you are a regular on this channel, if you're regular talking to me or whatever, just starting to look at sometimes emotions have a second state. And that is one that is a healed state. That's why we say a stuck and flowing state. But the flowing state is actually a healed state. Sometimes it's deep acceptance. Sometimes it's deep understanding. Sometimes it's deep allowing. The healed state often feels very flowing. It feels very flowing because that's what it is. We are no longer stuck in it. For example, you might be in your day-to-day life experiencing some stuck emotion. That emotion might be, for example, sadness. You might feel unheard. You might feel that you don't like your career, or you don't like your relationship, or you just don't like how your life is going right now. I don't know, but you might be experiencing something like that. We can consider that, if it's something that keeps reoccurring in your life, a stuck emotion, a blockage, if you will, which is the general term I like to use on this channel and coaches and stuff might like to use. A blockage. A blockage where the energy, if your life is like a pipe, right? Put your hands out to the video, to the screen. If your life is like a pipe flowing between you and me now, a blockage is essentially a thing that is blocking the flow of the energy. It's like a pipe. If the pipe of water is blocked, look, it's gonna flow weirdly. It's gonna flow haphazardly. It's not gonna flow fully. It's gonna be blocked. And what people do then is they try and willpower their way through it. So they will willpower. They'll just force more water down the pipe. Now, that's exhausting. As someone, you may have experienced this, like you just willpower your way through it, then you end up burning out afterwards. And there's nothing wrong with burnout. I'm not here to say like, naughty. I'm here to say like, it's all welcome, all experiences are welcome, as long as we surrender to them, as long as we allow ourselves to process them. So a stuck emotion, I would describe as a blockage experienced. So for example, something we are rejecting, an emotion or an experience we are rejecting. Now, I'm not saying that we have to welcome all experiences into our life. For example, if someone tries to rob you, you're not like, thank you for robbing me. Here, take my stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying lay down and be passive. I've never said that. I'm asking you during the experience to surrender to whatever the fuck is happening at that time. What that might mean, for example, if you are stressed, rather than trying to solve the stress, you surrender to the stress. You let yourself fully surrender to that feeling of stress in that moment. You might find then that suddenly the cycle, because it's all about completing cycles. Emotions have a cycle. I've said this one time, I've said this a fucking billion, zillion, quadrillion, shbillion times, that the emotion will complete its cycle. Once the cycle is complete, we are usually free from it. We have learnt from it. We have grown in some way. And some of the times we have some mild epiphany from our new grown perspective. So for example, you surrender to the stress, you surrender to the stress, you surrender to the stress, it starts to flow. The stress flows. You realize that there is more stress. Essentially, what ends up happening is a lifetime of stress ends up resolving itself. Stress after stress after stress that we have repressed comes up and must be felt. And then, once the cycle is fully complete, every time you surrender, you are completing a cycle. Let's just be honest. You are completing a cycle. But as you surrender, 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 you are letting all of the stress come up. Once that cycle is fully complete of all of the different cycles, what ends up happening is you might have some epiphany. Like for example, with myself, with stress, I learned that sometimes when I'm stressed, I'm actually just excited. And I'm so excited that someone told me somewhere along the way that you should be less excited. Or I couldn't handle it myself. It was too much as a kid, generally very excited. So what ends up happening? We call it negative. It's too much. I want less. And there is nothing wrong with that. Right? There is nothing wrong with that. Wanting less of something is like saying, I just want to be able to handle life. You've given me too much. Please slow it down. So there's nothing wrong with that. But this is what I'm talking about in this video. The two states of emotion, the flowing state and the stuck state. The flowing state is the healed state. Often when we are fully healed, we will experience those negative emotions, those things like grief, pain, anxiety, depression. But once you have fully processed them, they are generally not going to last as long, or because your pipe is clear, oh boy, does it come out. But it comes out at once. It does not hold back. There was a time in my life where I was experiencing great grief. I'm not going to tell you what, because it's very personal to me. But I was experiencing great grief. In that time, someone then tried to say to me, like, it's okay, you don't have to feel like this. They were trying to like help me navigate those feelings. My response to them was, let me fucking feel. I had processed my grief, this new situation of intense grief. Because my pipe was clear, my body knows how to process it. It flew, and it was short, painful, but loving. You know, and then I learned in my own time what grief is. What's the flowing state of grief? Sometimes we grieve because we're transitioning. We're transitioning from something being a thing we can experience to now a memory. For example, if someone passes. We're grieving a relationship ending. Going from something we can experience to now a memory. Sometimes we grieve because there was just more love for us to give and we never got that opportunity. So we're transitioning, we're letting all that potential love come out. And these are the things that I'm talking about, that the realizations people have, the process of emotional healing. I often say to people, like, I can't write it better than the universe. I can't write it better than what realization you'll go through. Because as you surrender, as you heal it, the thing you will experience, the realization will be so unique to you. So unique to you that the overall outcome of the process will be such an elevating, enlightening experience that you will be free in your own terms. This is the natural thing that happens to people. This is why I pump these videos out. It's hard for me to say because I'm all like, I want to make money, and I'm surrendering my blocks to making money. Which I'll talk about that in a second, actually. But this is the thing that I want people to understand. It is free. You can do it now. You can do it all the time. In fact, I want people to do it now and all the time. And I want people to be like, oh, I learned it from Sharam. Nice. So if you tell anyone about it, just send them to this channel. Let me yell at them. It's like, help me. I'm asking you. Help me help you. But the process of healing is very interesting. So interesting fact, I think I talked about this in the past where I'm like, I took some time of making videos, now I'm back in it. This feels very flowing to me. I'm not cognitive. It used to take up so much cognitive memory. It was like planning videos. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If I plan videos, it doesn't have the same heaviness to it anymore. I am, for all intents and purposes, enlightened towards this action. Enlightened meaning light, not heavy. There's no emotions holding down. So enlightened, light, not heavy, not in heaviness, enlightened. So, for example, with making money online, through surrender, through my own surrender, I'm actually opening myself up to more opportunities, more understandings, more vision, more ability to see opportunities around me. And for example, me pumping out videos, I used to be like, I'm not getting enough views, I'm not getting enough likes, wah, wah, wah. And I had a love-hate relationship with the people that watched my videos. I don't give a shit. You guys are great, I'm great, let's be great together. Yeah, boy. And currently, like through the ad revenue, I'll look at the statistics and it's like, oh, I made 11 cents on a video. Maybe a year ago, I'd be like, I made 11 cents. That's fucked. Now I'm like, I made 11 cents. Woo! Like the excitement and the energy, I'm not blocked towards it. So it flows and I can see it and I can grow it and I can understand it and I'm more available to see and to witness how the growth happens. So it's super, super interesting. The flowing state of emotions feels different. It feels lighter. For example, through my own depression, did I surrender? This is when I really learnt it. When I started to like understand the healing process was when I decided I was just going to deal with my depression. That I didn't realize I had lifetimes of depression to get through. And when I was healed, when my cycle completed itself, or at least one of the cycles, because there's usually like a million cycles and every cycle completes, it's like that attribute, that slice of whatever you're going through fades, it disappears, it's gone. So what ended up happening was I realized that depression was actually deep introspection, for me at least. For everyone else, it's going to be different. Some people it's like, yes, it's a chemical imbalance. And you might realize it's a chemical imbalance. It's not me, it's something else. I need to sort this out. But what ends up happening, that cycle completes itself. These questions that block us from experiencing the life as we want it disappear. So for me, realizing that my depression was actually deep introspection, realizes like, I'm just really deeply thinking at a level that I can't cognitively and consciously witness, but I can experience the little piecing together in my fucking soul of puzzle pieces coming together that I'm essentially trying to reconstruct who I think I am and what I think I am at such, I point here because that's where I felt it, at such a deep, tiny grain of, not even sand level, grain of atoms level. So deep. But I was only able to witness it once that cycle had completed itself. I remember one time I was working with someone and they were really depressed. I was like, your homework this week, surrendered to being depressed. After 1 week, they were bored of it. They're like, I'm done. Let me out. Like, I want to do things. And it's interesting. It's so interesting. Every time if I'm facilitating it, sometimes people aren't ready to know what it is. I facilitate it, they get the results, life works. If I am teaching it, it is so interesting to see them take it from one aspect of their life to all aspects of their life. I talk about this sometimes with relationships, with sexual attraction, with just attraction in general, with understanding, with letting your fucking beast out, with your intimacy with your partner, whatever that might be. And to realize, like some, for example, with intimacy, it's like, it does not matter. It does not matter. People put so much emphasis on it. They're like, oh, my partner didn't love me in the way I wanted to be loved. It's like, well, did you? Did you love you in the way that you wanted to be loved? But then they heal, they grow, they realize things like, oh, it does not matter how often we are intimate. It does not matter if we are. It just matters. It just matters. Like it's okay. It's okay with and it's okay without. And that's where real beautiful growth happens, when we are okay with and we are okay without. And the flowing state of emotion is a healed state. Our body knows how to handle it. We are free, we grow, we are fucking transcendental, and we experience who and what we are as who and what we were meant to be, which is fucking beautiful. Amazing creatures of who and what we are. And it does not matter as much as it does. And you will be lighter because of it. The lightness of being. I'm pretty sure is a book on the lightness of being. I got to look that up. But it does and will make sense. And if not now, in the future. So thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot more to talk about, more really interesting things, but I can't remember for the life of me. So thank you so much is where I wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you are amazing and wonderful and beautiful, and know that. And so am I, and let's do that together. If you learned anything from this video, if there's any keen insights or things that just like shot you in the face or in the heart or in the soul or in the ghoulies, please like comment them, like let me know. I like seeing that kind of stuff. Plus it helps me grow this channel. Oh yeah, now I remember, if you're still watching this, goals I have for the future. Actor, comedian, fucking this shit, whatever I'm doing now. I want to heal my blockages towards selling more things online. So then I want to have a business also where I help other people sell their shit online. This is not just a channel where you follow because you want to learn about healing. And that might be why you're here. This is a channel that you follow. Hey, my camera died. I didn't realize that my camera died. This is a channel that you follow because you see not only where your life takes you, but where my life takes me through the healing journey. You watch along as I heal, as you heal, as we heal together. Maybe you work with me, maybe you don't, but you watch the growth that we both simultaneously fucking go through as we reach our potential, like a tree that can only grow as high as it can grow because that's just the way that the tree grows. That's why we're here. So I'll talk to you soon.